Hey, how's everybody doing today? Clint, the audio slash photo guy here, with a little update on my video quality improvement project here. Video and audio quality, I should say, audio quality. So I've been seeing this aerial footage for a long time, and it looks really cool. And I was like, you know what? I think I need to get a drone, so I can do some aerial footage. I think, especially, I do a lot of skyline photography. Some fly-ins at dusk, like during the blue hour at night, would be sweet if the cameras were good enough to get it without being all grainy and everything. And these drones keep getting better and better, and I see some great footage from them. So I, just like anything, I'm OCD and I'm very indecisive, and I'm also a perfectionist. So I have a very hard time making the decision on which one to buy, right? So I'm studying all of them. The Mini 2 is very popular. That's the really little one, but it's got a small sensor, so I know that that's probably not going to be the greatest for low light situations. But it's under 250 grams, which is like a certain level where you don't have to get it registered and everything. It's like a toy, you know. It's a toy that can shoot 4K 30 frames a second. So during the daylight, the footage looks really great. I was researching the Air 2 and the DJI Mavic 2 Pro. And then they've got the Inspire, which is like the big one, right? That carries basically a cinema quality camera on board. So I was weighing all my options. What is do I need to go full hog right away before I even know if I like it? Probably not. But also, should I get the tiny one because that's kind of like a toy footage-wise? The sensor's not quite as big. The Air 2 has a little bit bigger sensor, although not a whole lot bigger, but it should be better in low light situations. Anyway, I watched every drone video there is on YouTube, which is why YouTube's amazing for that. Then I put it in my cart. I go, I'm gonna buy the Mini 2. I didn't buy it. I was like, I'll just order it tomorrow. I had to run somewhere, and I think I don't know, I was going to the gym or something, but I had to be wherever I was going. So I'm gonna order it the next day. Then the next day, I get an email. Of course, because you look at anything online, all of a sudden you just get barraged from all directions. This is the thing you need, you know. It's like, how did you know that? But Anyway, I get an email from DJI. We just announced the Air 2S. So this has the 1-inch sensor, basically the like the Mavic 2 Pro. Hope I get all these names right. They keep changing. And then the newest ones, they drop the name Mavic. Anyway, Air 2S. This is the mid-sized drone with the 1-inch sensor. I'm like, great. It's going to be at a good price point. It's going to be smaller and more compact. It's still going to have the 1-inch sensor, so I'm going to be able to do skyline shots at night, right? And then I order it. I order it within 30 minutes. I was like, oh, that's the one I needed. Like, I don't want to order the predecessor when the brand new one's out, right? And I've always found if you're waiting on technology, you'll be waiting forever. I hear that all the time from customers at work. I think I'm going to wait for the next one. Well, by the time the next one comes out, you're not going to like what it costs, and you won't be able to get the old one. So you're going to have to wait till the price comes down. Then you wait another 6 months when the price comes down. Then you won't want it because they announced a new one that's going to be coming in another 6 months, and then you'll start waiting again. So it's just this vicious cycle. Anyway, I can tell drones are like that because DJI seems to be coming out with new models in each series, like almost yearly. So anyway, I get this thing ordered. I'm like, okay, that's the perfect one. Decisions made. That made it easy. I also got 128 gig SD or micro SD card, but this was the recommended SD card for this drone. Now this shoots 150 megabits per second. It shoots in 5.4K, and the footage online looked really good. The minute it was announced, all the YouTubers already had reviews on them. Like, where did these guys get this drones from if they just announced a thing? I really like Philip Bloom's review. If you want to check out a good one, Philip Bloom, guy's a great cinematographer, but he makes really cinematic and well narrated reviews of camera equipment. So check out his on that. It's pretty cool. But and like him, he's been doing drones almost as a hobby on the side. He's a filmmaker, so he's like cinema filmmaker. He was always been searching for the one ultimate drone. Like, this one's too big, kind of like Baby Bear's Bed, or what is it, the Goldilocks porridge. There's one that's just right, best camera, best price, best size, the ultimate package. And we're like, is this going to be it, right? So I think this one was going to be it. Then it shows up. As you'll notice, it's still in the shrink wrap. I was going to do an unboxing for you, but I am torn still. I don't want to take the shrink wrap off and fly it around and then go, I decided I want this other one, and then put it back in the box, and then somebody else has to get a used drone. Like, it's not, I don't want to ruin anybody else's drone, so I keep it mint, right? Keep it in the box until I've made my decision. So the question is, I got the Fly More kit too. The Fly More kit cost $300 more. So it's a $1,000 drone. It's $1,300 with the Fly More kit, which gives you 2 extra batteries, a charger, and the neutral density filters, which I don't know why you need those. But it is a fixed aperture lens, so I guess if it's too bright and your highlights are blown out, you probably have to put a neutral density filter on. That's one feature that the Pro 2 has over this. It has the ability to stop down the aperture, let in less light into the camera. This is fixed at 2.8, f2.8. So I watched a couple videos last night. They were comparing them. I was still torn whether I'm going to open this, charge the batteries, and go with it or not. I downloaded some apps on my phone which tell you, they're like the flight maps where you can't fly. And basically, I mean, anywhere near an airport, of course, I'm not going to fly and try to hit an airplane or anything. That would be stupid. But there's an airport either downtown or very close to downtown in every city, and you can't fly within like 5 miles or something. So my skyline footage idea, I don't know that I'm going to be able to get that. Even with the bigger sensor could capture it, but I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to fly there. You can get FAA waivers to be able to fly in areas where you typically can't fly, but you have to apply for them online, and they take 90 days. That's like, who knows what the weather's going to be like in 90 days. Like, I want to look outside and go, okay, I like these clouds, and then shoot downtown and go take the video. I don't know 90 days from now where I'm going to be or what I'm going to be doing, so it's very hard to plan. Also, all the parks, the whole park system has signs up everywhere. No, they call them unmanned aircraft, right? As if this is an unmanned aircraft. Unmanned aircraft, I picture like an airplane with a robot driving. You know what I mean? They're this big. They're like less than a pound. So I don't know. They're like, you can be at the park with a camera just fine, and you can take all the pictures you want. You want to take a picture from 100 feet up? Like, oh no. Like, why? Why not? You can fly radio control airplanes in the park. Right? Everybody goes to the park to fly radio control airplanes, helicopters, go fly a kite. You can, whatever you want, right? You could throw a frisbee. But somehow everybody's afraid of drones, which that bothers me a little bit. They're just people that are photographers and, you know, video makers, content creators, and they want to get some cool new perspectives on stuff, you know. So they are pretty cool. The stabilization technology is pretty amazing. That's I'd say that's the future, but that's the thing now. The drone can be flopping all over the place and you can get super smooth footage, so it's pretty incredible. So anyway, my dilemma. I'm sorry for the long-winded conversation here. Do I open this, use it, and be happy? I saw a comparison last night. They showed the footage from this and the footage from the predecessor with the smaller sensor, and the predecessor was sharper. Now, Philip Bloom talks about over-sharpening, and maybe that this is not over-sharpened. He said he wished that they didn't over-sharpen it. This is not over-sharpened, and it probably gives you a bit more flexibility in post-production. But also, somebody mentioned that there was some chromatic aberration in the lens on here, and the fact that it's a 2.8 aperture lens and it's being shot wide open, it doesn't give you the flexibility to stop down to reduce that chromatic aberration and get a sharper picture in bright lit situations. The big aperture 2.8 is pretty good aperture. Will help in twilight shooting, and so will the 1-inch sensor. Now, everybody's talking about the Mavic 3s coming out. Mavic 3 is probably going to have an APS-C size sensor, which is bigger than a 1-inch sensor. This also lacks side sensors for collision. The Pro 3 will have that. So the question here, the Pro 3 is not out. Don't know when it's going to be out. Probably sometime between now and fall this year, 2021. The question is, of course, it'll be more money. Do I send this back, pick up the Mini 2 now, which is only $450. I'll grab an extra battery for it, which is $55. So $500. And put the extra money towards a wide-angle zoom that I want for my Fuji, which you're watching through right now. The 10-24 OIS lens. Because it has optical image stabilization, I'm still using the XT3, which does not have a stabilized sensor, does not have stabilization built in, but I'm trying to use it for what I got. You know, I'm trying to use what I got. I know it sounds funny because I'm talking about buying two different things, but anyway, I could basically pay for that ultra wide lens because I haven't had an ultra wide lens in a long time, and to shoot some interiors with, to do the vlogging with like this, to do anything handheld, because it does have optical image stabilization. And I can basically buy that lens and a Mini 2 drone for very close to the price that I paid for this. Do I do that and then wait for the Mavic 3 Pro to come out and maybe pick that up down the road? Get used to flying the drone, get used to crashing something a little cheaper? Or do I keep this and use it? That's the other option, and not get that lens. Or do I send this back and just get the Mavic 3 when it comes out? But it could be a 6-month wait, I don't know. So what do you think? Which is the drone to get right now? It's a tough decision, but DJI seems to be king of stabilization and really smooth shots. The other little nitpick I saw, I watched a lot of videos on this, and I've been seeing the props in the video. Like, what's that about? That kind of bothers me. They put a pretty wide angle lens on here. Like, I can't have saleable footage. Like, the purpose of doing skyline photography like I do, and I would be adding videography, is to sell the stock footage. The stock footage, and the, you know, make some cool videos for you guys, of course, but also be able to sell the stock footage. You can't have saleable footage with rotors in the frame, I wouldn't think. So anyway, sorry about the long speech, but let me know what you think. If you have any ideas, let me know. I'd appreciate the input. And we'll see you on the next one. You guys have a good night. Cheers.